It is Daron from the System of a Down, and you're logged on to guitar.com. I just always wanted to play the drums, and so my parents said that they wouldn't buy me the drums because you can't turn them off. So they got me a guitar, and I started playing the guitar, and I started getting better at it. So I said, okay, I'll stick to this. And then I started realizing I could write songs. And then that became like something that, you know, just made me stick to the guitar. And I still love the drums though. I mean, the drums are my favorite instrument. I play very light drums, like, you know, it's like if I was playing for the Stones or something, I can keep a 4/4 beat, but like, I don't do any Neil Peart type of stuff. I mean, you know, so I'm not a drummer. I have like a drummer's mind, you can say, but I'm not physically a drummer.
But you have, at times, you play very percussively.
Yeah, I'm a better rhythm player than I am a solo player by far, I think. Yeah, like Maiden records and anything metal back in those days except for Manowar. I don't know, Ozzy stuff, Randy Rhoads. Just a whole bunch of different guitar players, too many to even mention. And it's not just the guitar that influences me to go places, it's like different, you know, sometimes there's so many lead singers that, like Iggy Pop, you know, is a big inspiration for me when it comes to just attitude and playing and doing it all with attitude. And just different people, there's too many to name, you know. But
who was your first big guitar hero, though?
Well, my first big band ever was Kiss, so I guess I'd have to say Ace Frehley, you know, because he was in Kiss. But then again, that's like saying, you know, back in those days, I'd say Peter Criss, the greatest drummer on earth. No offense to Peter Criss, but hey, you know, John Bonham will whip his ass, you know. So I don't know. I guess Ace Frehley was the first guitar player ever that I ever, like, you know, knew. But guitar hero, I don't know, like Randy Rhoads, Eddie Van Halen, a lot of 80s guys, because I basically grew up in the 80s, you know, as an 80s kid, and metal was really big back then, so. I remember I used to play Iron Man like this, really bad. That's how I used to play. And then someone said, that's not how you hold the power chord. So it's like, someone just taught me how to, like, someone told me, hey, put your finger down there, and you'll get a better power chord than going. Still not playing it right. That's just the key that I chose right now. It was in B. Iron Man in B. That's just off, you know, sitting in your room for like 7 to 10 hours a day and playing. And every day, and I was like, I don't know, still sometimes. So if I can get the chance, I do. I remember when I was like a teenager, I used to get home and play for hours, like 7 or 8, 10 hours a day, and like I'd realize, damn, time just flew by, and like I'd be like, damn, I gotta eat something, you know, or. Masturbation is great for the right arm. around, just do stuff like, I don't know, nothing in particular, just I feel like playing the guitar, so let's play the guitar, you know. Like, just doodle around, I don't know, just screw around. It's really hard to say what I used to do exactly. Play Sabbath riffs or something, or try to figure out how to play South of Heaven, you know. Like, just by listening to it on the stereo or something, I'd hear, whoa, there's a new Slayer record, and then, like, try to play it. I go through, like, no. I just go through the riff of the first song we're gonna play, or like. I just make sure I'm warmed up to play the first song if I'm going to start the first song, you know, or whatever the first song is. You know. Usually Sleepy or No or Plug or something. Yeah, salsa, anything like Elvis Crespo, the guy who sings Suavemente. That guy's cool. I like, you know, a lot of different. I like the Apex Twin. He's a really cool electronic guy, and I don't know. There's a lot of cool DJs like Frankie Bones and DJ Shadow. He's really cool. Carl Cox. I've been listening to some of his CDs lately. So yeah, I do like some dance music, DJ stuff, because it's all like very drum orientated. So I'm really into the rhythm and vocals when it comes down to music. The guitar is pretty much the last thing I think about. And I'm the guitar player of the band, but as a composer or someone who writes music or whatever, that when I'm in the frame of mind of doing that, I'm really not thinking of my part too much as I'm thinking about what else would be going on while I'm doing my part. You know what I mean? And then I'll do it. You know what I mean? I'll do my thing last, you know? So, basically, you know, I do a lot of writing for the band, so I write some music here, and I'll take it to the band and, you know, create a vibe. I try to create the vibe with, you know, just... I'm like I said, I'm a drummer in my head, so it's like when I'm playing these riffs sometimes, I have all these beats that are going into my head. You know, it's like I might be playing a Tony Iommi riff, but like have like a break beat in the background, and I'd be going to John and say, hey, try that. That'd be funny, you know what I mean? It'd be fun. Like if you listen to our song on the tribute record, I mean, it's sort of like James Brown meets salsa version of Snowblind. And that's just like sort of what we like to do, you know, and expand it a little bit. Like still keep it heavy, keep it serious, yet have a light side to it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's some people try to have us explain, you know, why does it work? You know, you have like a singer. He talks about some serious issues, and then I'm a guitar player and I do some quacky stuff sometimes, and like I say, I'm the dude that says sugar or whatever, and like, how does that work? And we're like, I don't know. You guys are the ones that bought the records. We don't know how it works. We were just doing it, like trying to expand, you know, ourselves to what we want to do, you know. Well, I play solos, but my solos would tend to be something closer to like, not like what I just mentioned maybe Randy Rhoads and Eddie Van Halen, but I probably wouldn't play like them. I'd probably play closer to like someone like a Mark Knopfler or a Jerry Garcia or a Jimmy Page mixed, Carlos Santana, David Gilmour. When it comes to my soloing, I keep it simple. I don't like the whole, it's not that I don't like it. I like listening to like stuff like Yngwie Malmsteen. I love Buckethead. I think he's great. But it's just not the path that I used to have friends that played like that, and I never really. It's not the path that I take in my playing. I just never was interested in doing that. I'm more into songwriters and people who write songs and how there's a certain attitude you can bring out of the guitar that like you don't really need to be playing 100 notes at a time. And Carlos Santana can probably tell you the same thing, like he can take a note and take it forever and it'll make you feel something. And when I play more melodically, and I like to have melodic type of solos if I have a solo. Like, not very many heavy guitar players have been soloing these days, and like on our record you'll hear like, I don't know, 3 or 4 songs maybe that have guitar solos in them, just because as a songwriter I said, hey, it fits. It's not like, the 80s, like where every song had to have one, but like it doesn't mean like now that we're in a different era that you can't have one, I think you can have guitar solos every now and then, it just don't overdo it, tastefully. I love playing Icemans. I really love them. There's a baritone they just made for me. It's an Iceman 2. So they're going to start making these. They're quite different. So you can see that used to be the old Iceman. Here's a little bit. So they haven't really made any of these in the market yet, so I'm pretty much the first dude that has it. So I'm cool.
Does it sound any different than this?
Yeah, because it's a baritone.
Oh.
This is just a regular standard type of guitar. This one is in between a guitar and a bass. So this pretty much has like a lot more of like a bassier type of sound. It can get more chunky, like. And still have that quicker attack that I can have, and have like a really low bass bomb because it's in between, and it's a 60 on top and it's a 12 on bottom with the strings. So the strings are a lot thicker than that. I think it's a 56 on that and 10s on the bottom. That's going to give you a lot more attack. This one's going to give you a lot more chunk. If you want to come off sounding like Caius, It's like, if you wanted to come out with that bulk, then I would use this guitar. If you wanted to come out with, say, more attacky type of, Daryl type of stuff, I don't know, I would use something more like that because the strings are thinner and it's just more attacky, and you can play quicker on that. So on the next record I just want to combine both. On stage I've been using this lately because it just gives me a bit of both,
Could you play something on this one so we can kind of hear?
It's probably going to sound the same.
Well.
These are differences you can tell only on record.
Come here.
This is one I still play on stage a lot. We did Conan with this one. I can tell as a player it's just more attacky. Like, you'd be able to do something something like that easier on this guitar, like make it scream. On that guitar, it would be a lot harder to make it scream. Like, that would be harder on that. I don't want 7 strings, and that's just, you know, it's like, I like the bass, I like to play bass, I've written some songs on the bass, and that can give me a vibe of having like a bassy type of vibe, yet still being a guitar. I can hold the same guitar chords, you know, 7 strings, I've never played one before, but I don't see myself wanting to play one. I don't know, it's not my thing. That was one way of getting a thicker sound and a lower tone without detuning, like we've dropped it already, we're dropped down a C, so it's like without going any lower. That was one way of like getting a guitar to be sounding more bulkier and more bigger without changing my, you know, scales or anything, you know, just staying 6-string, and it's not exactly normal. It's a baritone, but it's just, I don't know. That's the only way that I thought that I can do that, you know, is get a bigger sound without changing my whole rig around or whatever, you know.
Well, you just answered my next question, which was about tunings. If you use any other odd tunings.
Well, the guitars are dropped 1 step, and this, like, it's just regular up until, and then this last string is like you can hold a power chord with 1 finger, so it's dropped to C, and if you wanted it standard, it'd be D. So the whole guitar sort of like dropped down 1 step, and then this string is dropped down too, so we can have it, and it makes like quicker on the riffs. Like, you can do things that you can do with 1 finger, like up here with riffs or over here, because you're still playing the riff with 1 finger, you know what I mean? Like you can go, like, it would be a lot more difficult if you were trying to do that with your fingers, like this way you just go. So it's still like soloing. Throw a beat over it, and everyone kick each other's ass.
Remain in this space, for darts scratch my desires.